Hey everyone, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by and watching another video for my Handmade Christmas with Joy series. Today I have something completely different than I've done before. I am creating some packaging for cookies that you can give to your neighbors or your family or your friends or all of the above at the holiday time. I love to cook and bake. It's something that really brings me a lot of joy, and I really don't get to share it on this channel, but now I think I found a way. So I thought it would be darling to create some coffee mugs that your cookie is dipping into, and that is your packaging to give a cookie to somebody. So I am using Lawn Fawn's outside in stitched mug. And I have die cut a front and a back because we want our cookie to be inside of it. And I am doing ink blending. Now I am doing a lot of extra things on this, and I will kind of talk as we go through this, how to simplify these steps, especially if you have a lot of neighbors. We live on a very small cul-de-sac. There is 8 houses, including mine, so it's not a big deal to make these. I am going to do 3 colors. As you can see, I'm ink blending here. My first color combination, I'm using some Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated inks. I am using Guava, that's the pink here. So I'm going to have 3 pink mugs, 2 like teal mugs, and 2 green mugs. I'm going to then add some stenciling onto this. So the first way to make this a little simpler, if you are not going to do it the way I'm doing it, is start with a colored cardstock. Then you do not have to do any ink blending. I do want to say for your front and back, you're going to have to flip your back piece over. So you see how I have right now I am inking up the front part of the mug, and the other one is the back. So when you sandwich them together, you have the white cardstock on the inside and the colored cardstock on the outside. So I'm sure this is an obvious thing, but I thought that I would mention it. So again, the easier way than ink blending is just using a colored cardstock. Patterned paper would be super cute. That will be a way to not do our next step, but I really like the next step. I think it's going to be darling. So let's finish inking up these next 2 guys. I like to have a little shade and shadow, so I like to go darker on the outside, lighter on the inside. That's just kind of how I like to do ink blending. Now, this is where you could use the pattern paper. I'm going to use a stencil. So I am using Gina K's Sweater Weather stencil. I think this was just recently released, not that long ago. I bought it and haven't used it. I am using the grip mat from Waffle Flower. I'm using cherry ink right now, so I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated ink in cherry. I want to tape off the mug handle because I don't want anything on there, and I am taping above on the stencil because I just want this part at the bottom. The grip mat is sticky, so it holds my cardstock and it holds my stencil down. Now this stencil has some really intricate parts, so it moves around a lot. I had very little pixie spray left. Sorry, my head's in the way. I had very little pixie spray left, and so I sprayed a little what I had left on here, but it's not really sticking well. So I'm just kind of holding that bottom piece that right there because that's the one that wants to move a lot, but it was totally fine. So again, if you don't want to stencil, if you want to save a little bit of time with that, just use some patterned paper or something like that, and that would make it really, really fun and easy. But I like to do all the things on it because I think it's fun, and because I am a card maker, I still feel like I'm making cards, even though I'm making little cute packaging for cookies. So for the green, I'm using pine and aspen. So the aspen was the light color that we ink blended, and the pine here is the darker color. Then for the teal cards is the Aegeon. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I could be wrong. And Tide Pool. Tide Pool is the light color. Aegeon is the dark color. So the light color is the mug, and we're going to stencil on the dark color. But as you can see, the stenciling is actually going really quick, especially if you have a system of where you're lining it up, and I'm not doing a ton of stenciling. It's a very small area. This is a small mug image, and it works out good. Now, something I did do before I even baked my cookies and using this, I made a snowflake cookie because I love snowflakes, and I have like different sizes of snowflake cookies. I measured my cookie cutter to this die to make sure that my cookie would fit inside. Now we're going to create some little extender pieces on each side of here. So it is 2 inches long by 1 inch wide, and I'm going to score every 1/4 inch. So I'm going to score 3 times. This is going to give us 4 folds. So again, it's 2 inches long piece of cardstock, 1 inch wide, and then score it at the 1/4 inches, and then fold accordion style. So like away from you, towards you, away from you, towards you. Does that make sense? And that's going to give us this little piece here. Then we are going to cut this piece in half, which is going to give us a 1 inch piece in length instead of the 2 inch piece. This is going to work. So this is going to give us 2 pieces for each mug. Does that make sense? It's super easy, super quick to do, and then we can adhere these inside of our mug. So now I have all of my pieces. They kind of make a little M shape. I am adhering it down and leaving room at the top. So this is the back piece of the mug on the inside. I am using liquid glue. You want to use either liquid glue or some like double-sided tape because you want this to hold. I'm going to put this down in place. Now I have where the top and bottom piece, I don't even know how to explain this, are the top piece and bottom piece are open facing inwards, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to adhere that down. I'm using my reverse tweezers. I had another pair of reverse tweezers and I cannot find them anywhere. Then I want to add glue to the top. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue to the handle as well because I do want the handle closed. And then I can put this on top and hold it in place. This is going to give us our little mug. Now, you do not need to put a piece at the bottom unless you're making really tiny cookies. If you're going to do it, just cut another piece, adhere it at the bottom. That's accordion style so it opens. But my cookies are not going to fall through because they fit in the mug. Like they fit like snugly, so it's nice. So I'm making sure that my little tweezers are in the right place. So I'm going to show you this again. I'm going to put these in place. So the top part of those little folded pieces is a single edge. It's not folded, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain that, but I think you guys probably understand. You guys are smart. So again, and this part goes super, super quick. Here I am trying to look for my other tweezers that I just could not find. But I did put an ink pad on top. You could use an acrylic block. That keeps it nice and heavy. But this glue, I'm using the Barely Art liquid glue, and it dries really quick. So I'm going to put this in place. So I made sugar cookies for this. I'll talk about that a little bit more, and you guys definitely want to hang on to the end because you want to see how the cookies fit in here, and it is so much fun, and it is so, so cute. We're going to add some other things to this. We need to add some more design elements, a little tag, that kind of a thing. So I'm going to finish getting those, but you can see that that does go really, really fast. Now here's a little extra touch that you don't have to do, but I decided to add marshmallows. I just die cut them from white cardstock. I did not do any color to them because I didn't feel like it needed it, but these marshmallows are from Lawn Fawn's stitched mug frame die. So it's not the same thing as the outside in stitched mug. It's the stitched mug frame. So I have die cut 6 marshmallows for each cup. And as you can see, I'm just adding a little bit of glue on the bottom, tucking it in, making sure to not add a lot of glue, pressing it down, but my card is not going to get stuck together because we have those little accordion pieces in there. But I think this just adds a little something extra, and it's so darling. I'm also going to die cut the spoon, but I'll be honest, I can't remember what stamps or what die set that came from. This is the Winter Tiny Tags from Lawn Fawn. I have 2 trees. I'm going to ink blend with the pine ink. For the green mugs, obviously this is a lot of tone on tone. The Aegeon ink for the turquoise, this is the cute little snowflake. And then there is a little mitten that we're going to use, and that is the cherry ink that I'm going to blend with. And as you can see, I'm doing the outside darker, the inside lighter, because that's just kind of how I do that. And the tree was kind of ombre. Look at these cute little mittens. These are so darling. So we needed these tags because we need to have a from. So when we're giving to our neighbors, we usually have some sort of tag or something that says from the Baldwins. And that way they know it's not some random person's food. They can trust that my kitchen is clean and they know who they're eating from, if that makes sense. Then you can see the little spoons to the left that I die cut from silver mirror cardstock. I'm going to stamp the word from with black ink. This is from Honeybee Stamps Tag Your It Holidays. And I want to leave a little bit of room to be able to write our name. But I love these little tags. They are so, so darling. And then the cute little trees, I had to stamp in the middle because the stamp was too large on the top. Okay, let's get some little twine. So this is the hemp cord from Fawn. I have green sparkle, aquamarine, and red sparkle. I'm not cutting super long pieces, just long enough that I can pull it through. I will trim these down. I'm not going to actually tie these to the mugs, but I will adhere them down to the mugs. So I'm going to trim off the excess. I just need little tiny bits of it at the top. Now we've got our cute little spoons. Again, I have die cut this from silver mirror cardstock from Cardstock Warehouse. I just thought the spoon was cute. You could also put the spoon on the inside of your mug just the same way that I adhered the marshmallows, but I wanted to have the spoon on the outside because I think it's super, super cute. And then I decided to add a little dimension, of course, with my tag. So I'm going to add some little foam squares and just kind of pop them up a little bit over the spoon and put these in place. This project actually was fairly quick. I mean, the ink blending and stuff like that took longer, but as far as putting these things together, it was fairly quick. I'm using Trinity Stamps gold stars, and I'm going to put those on those little sweater, the little areas that look like a little sweater, just to add a little something extra, a little extra color. Now we're going to put the cookies in here. I made some sugar cookies, some no spread sugar cookies. Like I said, they are snowflakes. And I did a rosemary orange cookie, and they are so delicious. And I did a vanilla royal icing because I did decorate them. I also created an orange buttercream because my husband likes buttercream that I did on some other cookies for him. But look at how this fits in. Now, I am not packaging my cookies in plastic right now because when I do this for my neighbors and stuff, I make the cookies that day. I will pop it in the package and give it to them. If these are going to sit longer, I would most definitely put them in a cellophane bag. But I think this packaging is cute where you can just see the cookie, things like that. So, and don't worry, my work surface was all wiped down and clean before I put cookies down. I know some people get worried about stuff like that. I'm very clean with my cookies. I used to run a soup kitchen. I went through all the classes. I mean, even before that I was clean, but I know all the things. So, but aren't these cute just to pop in your little mugs? Your cookies are sticking out. They can't fall down because these cookies are big. But again, if your cookies are smaller, add one of those accordion pieces at the bottom. Let's get the rest of these in here because they are just so fun and they fit so good. And with royal icing, it's hard. And if you're using a softer icing, most definitely put it in a cellophane bag or some sort of packaging like that before you put it in your mug. Otherwise, it'll get messy. But there's nothing wet on these cookies, so this works perfect for this type of packaging. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday and a wonderful Christmas. Bye.